right, good afternoon and welcome back to today's market color recap session. My name is Sabia B, and I'm just going to spend a few minutes looking at the asset classes that were analyzed this morning to see if they've played out. The same thing will be done when my colleague comes on board as well to also give his recap on indices. Let's see if the levels we marked out this morning have played out. If you happen to miss the more detailed session where we gave reasons for selecting these POIs as areas where I want to trade from, please do well to watch the previous video and you'll be able to follow through. So looking at AUD USD first, for this particular asset class, waiting for price to eventually trade back into 0.65270 or 0.65619 for us to now start to look for the trade continuation from that zone. Why? Because we saw profit taking no call. So we're looking to continue to sell when price trades into the higher time frame levels. However, before price gets here, we also drew the 5 minutes POIs where we said price could either find resistance at, and continue to sell from. Now, price has now violated its zone that could have served as support, but remember, there's a POI that could be attracting price. So you see that price has not really gone back into this POIs to start to trade from, but I'm still holding. These are levels I'm looking to sell from. And if they get violated to the upside, then I can now start to look for buy opportunities. Price violate this zone, I'm looking to take a quick buy of AUD USD into 0.65619. If not, my bias still remains the same. Trade in here, give me confirmations, let me sell, and if there's no confirmation, I won't be taking those trades. Similar to USD card as well. You see how we drew different POIs. We said we're expecting temporal sell-offs of this guy into different points of interest. POI 1, 2, and 3, all of the horizontal lines you see are from the H1 time frame. And then these are 45 minutes. Yesterday's high and lows, which basically serve as support and resistance zones. So price is now selling off, right? Starting to react from that zone. I'm looking to start to buy. So I'm saying since you validated here, if you come into this zone and I see confirmation, I'll take a buy shot, provided it meets my criteria. If not, there are different POIs that could hold price. So my bias has not really changed. Hence why I said this is going to be really fast, few minutes, because what we're looking for has not even been triggered. For NZD USD, I stated waiting for temporal buys as well into these POIs 0.56859, 57388, this and this. These are the different points of interest we're waiting for. On the M5, I drew even more points of interest as well, as you can see on the charts. So they've not been traded into. When price eventually buys back, I'm looking to sell. So NZUSD, AUD I'm seeing these temporal buys as buy to sell opportunities, and USD card a temporal sell to eventually start buying. My bias has not changed. Okay, if you have any question, ask me now for these asset classes I just looked at. If not, let us move into the recap for indices. All right, thank you so much for joining. We'll take a very short break to reconvene and look at indices. So please do not go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Cheers and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Hope we're good. All right, we'll be looking straight into the second part of the market color. You have something quite interesting happening already with our markup that we drew this morning, right? The first one, which is S&P 500. In the morning, I marked out a specific level. You can check out the morning session so you see the recap of how we came about all of this level we drew, right? And as it is now, price is playing out perfectly well, perfectly well. Price has already done 1:2, right? If you look at this, it was a very, very, simple analogy. There was a shift of structure to the upside, and then price, we had a fair value gap and an order block just below this level that we expect that price is going to tap into for it to continue to the upside, right? And then that was what price did. Used this first leg as inducement, came into this level, as you can see, and then this is like a very clean trade, zero drawdown, right? Just picked our order and then is beginning to push to the upside. This trade is 1:5. Currently, as we speak, 1:2 has been achieved already. All right. If you leverage this with a $100, position, that would be you being up already 200. If it's $1,000, you'll be up 2,000. If it's a $10,000, you're up $20,000, right? Which is quite interesting. However, for the next position, which is US 100, US 100 didn't reverse to a point of what's it called now? Entry. We've not seen that happen yet, right? I was hoping it was going to happen, but then it's just what it is. The market is what it is. All right. We didn't see that entry into this, right? And then for that reason, we're just going to see what happens probably into 3 o'clock. That's Nigerian time. We can see that volatility coming back again into this zone for it to continue to the upside. That's a possibility. If we don't see that happen today, then I'm just going to delete my order on US 100, right? Which is NASDAQ. For S&P 500, something similar, not S&P now, US 30, something similar happened that I mentioned this morning. Thank God our markup are still available here. If you used this markup, right, saying you were active and then you're listening to all that I said, you'll have made serious money, because look at this zone, right? I said there are 2 places for entry this morning, either 50% of the fair value gap or from this order block. And to be honest, I was hoping price could come even to the other block so that we can get more refined entry. But look at what price has done now, right? Instead of reacting off the other block, he just went to exactly 50% of the market and then is beginning to push to the upside, right? You can imagine the accuracy in that, in this prediction, right? In this analysis, right? So we could still see price come to the downside again, meaning price do something like this. This is what we have. Say price do something that's gone up, clear this liquidity, and then use this as inducement for it to continue to the upside. That can still happen, right, in this market, because we don't control the market, but we'll be looking between this time frame. This is already 2:10 into 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. If we see that volume that we are so much waiting for it to happen, if we see that volume and then price returns to this other block, best believe we are flying to the moon, right? But however, what we have here is still a very good trade today, right? We have already 2R running on S&P 500 and then 1R running on US 30. The only guy that didn't pick our trade today is US 100. US 100. We didn't see this level activated. It's fine and good. All right. So this is pretty much what we have for today, right? And for in-depth analysis of how we came about this position, just watch this morning's session on YouTube. Go to our live session and you see this morning's session for the market color. So go to the later part of it, you will see all of this being explained live and direct. It was called out here. All right. It's a good time to ask a question. Do we have any question whatsoever? I can see Samuel, Aditunji, and Ahmed, David, Mary, Ahmed, do you have any question whatsoever? So especially about this analysis that's been made so that we can look into them together and then have better clarity. Any question? You can type in the chat box, any question? Okay, no question on my end. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow is going to be mind-blowing. I'll be doing analysis on dollar, on yen, on gold, right? So if you like the GU, EU pairs, right? GJ, EJ, and the rest, tomorrow is your day. Of course, for gold too. All right, thank you so much for joining this session. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, and God bless everyone.